So now that my betta fish Soundwave is settled into his new tank, I was thinking that Beta Mountain is looking a little bare, so I decided to splurge on some Bucephalandra. Stay tuned for a complete care guide on this beautiful and easy aquarium plant. Hi, this is a gamer's wife, here to share relationship advice and pet care tips to help you care for all the members of your family. And today we're actually talking about an aquarium plant called Bucephalandra. Actually, hold up, how do you pronounce it? On official websites, they say it's Bucephalandra. On buceplant.com, they say it's Buce or Bucephalandra. And then everywhere else, it's Buce, like rhymes with juice, Bucephalandra. So that's what I'm going with. So what is Bucephalandra? Well, it's this plant that's found growing along the banks of fast-moving streams in Borneo, usually attached to rocks using very strong roots. And in fact, even though we use it as a submersed aquarium plant, many times out of the year it grows immersed out of the water because of wet and dry seasons. There's over 200 varieties, but less than 10 named species last I heard. It grows to about 2 to 4 inches or more in height, even taller if it's grown submersed, and then the leaves can range from like less than half an inch to 4 inches long. It's really good as a foreground or midground plant, or as most people put it, on hardscape. For appearance, the typical Bucephalandra has these kind of oval-shaped leaves with a wavy edge, but you definitely can see all sorts of varieties that are smaller, skinnier, larger, straight-edged, and so on. One of its distinctive features includes white dots with some kind of iridescence in the leaves, which makes it look really cool. And then the plant does produce pink or white flowers, although they don't always survive underwater. So here's the care guide for Bucephalandra. Level of ease, pretty easy. I would say it's similar to Anubias, maybe a little bit harder. We'll get into that later. The growth level is definitely very slow. Temperature is really wide range, 70s to 80s. pH the same way too, not very picky. Lighting, a lot of people say that it can grow in low shade all the way to high light. Just make sure that you don't have too much light or else you might have algae problems since it's so slow growing. CO2 isn't necessary, but it will help if you want to use it. And then just some other side notes is that it does like good water movement since it does come from river streams. And then it'll probably benefit from some water column fertilizers, just like other rhizome plants. Where to buy Buce? I've found it very occasionally at my local fish store. Usually they don't know what kind it is, or it's not labeled very well. You can try to find it through someone in your local fish club, although I rarely see them at auctions, so I actually happen to get some from a hobbyist online. Thank you to Nano Aquatic on Instagram. Go show her some love. And finally, the easiest option is probably ordering online. I bought my latest batch from buceplant.com. Not sponsored at all, but there's tons of information and a lot of varieties sold on their website, so go check them out. I think the reason why Buce is so expensive is because it's still newish to the hobby, and then I also heard that they recently put in some new laws and restrictions to help stop the illegal export and import of Buce, since it's being over-harvested in the wild. Yeah, we definitely don't want them to go extinct or anything, so try to buy commercially produced or farm-raised plants if at all possible. In the wild, Bucephalandra will produce flowers that have scents that attract beetles to pollinate them. However, as hobbyists, the easiest way is to just get a pair of clean, sharp scissors and then cut the rhizome to separate the Buce into 2 different pieces. Just make sure that the pieces of rhizome aren't too small. To plant the Bucephalandra, I first remove any old or sickly leaves, and then I like to use super glue to attach the Buce onto hardscape, like rocks or driftwood. But you can also use thread or fishing line. Some people, like Corvus oscans, say that it does better if you actually plant the Buce into the substrate, just the roots, not the rhizome. Also, just like crypt melting, Bucephalandra also seems to melt when they have sudden changes in water parameters, like moving them from submersed to immersed, or even moving them to different tanks. Don't throw away the rhizome. Leave it in the tank, give it some time, and hopefully you'll see some new sprouts appear. Alright, it's time to rate the Bucephalandra. I think pros, it's definitely a beautiful plant with iridescent leaves, pretty easy to take care of, perfect for low-tech tanks and nano tanks because it doesn't grow very fast or big. However, cons, it's really expensive, it'll probably melt, and it's really slow growing. So because of that, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. So if you're looking for something a little unique that's not a Nubius or Java fern, definitely check Buce out. Question of the day, do you have any special care tips for Buce, and what's been your experience with them? Comment down below, like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Good luck with your planted takes, and I'll see you guys next time.